how's it going? Let me actually switch scenes. That would be nice. Will you click? Thank you. It's hella dark today because I live in the frozen north, so we have a additional light today, which means everything is like a lot brighter than normal. So if that's like too bright, let me know. I think it's okay for now. Maybe if the sun comes out like a little bit more, it will get to be a little bit too much. But yeah, the sun has only been up for like a half hour, really, because again, Alaska, 'tis what it is. I also just have like a mess today because that's kind of just the vibe. We're a mess, and that's okay. So we are going to start reworking ramen because I want to get that done. I say done. This is technically done. I want to get it done in a way that I'm pleased with. I'm not happy with how this one turned out, but we have the time to redo it, so we can do it the way that we want to do it, and that'll be fine. And I think that this did teach me something about how to proceed to get the effect that I want. So instead of doing the like 3D acrylic paint, we're gonna do the toppings on a heavier, that's the wrong paper, that's for something else, a heavier watercolor paper, and then cut those out, paint the sides so that the side isn't white, and then glue those on top of another acrylic paint pull like this, because I really like the way the noodles look. I'm just not happy with how the toppings turned out. Like, I think that I can probably just peel this freaking egg off right now. Look, we're just gonna, and then it's all weird. Because part of the thing about this paper is that you should be able to peel stuff off of it and leave some color behind. So like you can see the noodles on the back, but it shrunk like a fair amount. So the yolk was actually touching the white when I finished, and it's actually like completely separated now and not the right size. I'm not happy with that. So this is really scratch paper, but this is a kind of paper that I hadn't worked with before. And I was like, I think this will be good for the pulling, but it really wasn't good for the rest of it. I do think that gluing stuff onto it will work just fine. But yeah, so even though I count this as a failure, it was also a learning process, which is the important part. And we'll reapproach this with a better frame of mind. And that's my doorbell, which probably means that I have a package. But I'm busy, mailman person. Sorry. I hope it's something good. I do have some fun things coming in the mail. I wonder if I can peel this one off too. This one didn't pop off as much as the egg did. And I think maybe that's just because I did the paint a little bit thicker on the egg. I'm not really sure. But we're going to reapproach this. We're going to do watercolor toppings and then glue them onto something like this. And I may try to do the noodles on a different kind of paper versus this one. This is, what's it called? Yupo medium weight from Legion Papers, which is the paper that I've been using for most stuff. That's not what I meant to grab. And it's kind of plasticky, so it's got kind of like a plastic cover to it. And I hadn't used it before, but I thought that it would be good because it's so smooth, because I was having a problem with the paint like catching. Here it is. So like you can maybe kind of see that it's like super shiny versus something like a watercolor paper, which it doesn't have shine to it. I love how I arranged all of these papers very specifically the other day, and now I'm just ruining it. But I may try to do one pull on the other piece of this Yupo paper and then also try to do some, because when we did the paper or the acrylic pulling for Chaos for StreamINK, that went fine, and I'm wondering what the difference was between those two. It could have been like, because I did a bunch of tiny little pieces of paint which took me longer. It might be that the amount of drying for that between the time that I put it on the paper and the time that I actually pulled it made a big difference. It could be that I was using a smaller amount of paint as a whole, so it didn't drag as much, but it did end up really nice on this paper. But I also don't know, like I think gluing will work fine if I maybe scratch some of the texture off of the paper, but it will be a trial. We'll trial and error. We'll play around with it. But today I'm just going to focus on doing the toppings because those feel like a more manageable task for me today instead of doing this and then having to have it taped down on the desk while it dries and not being able to do anything else in that area. I also have started a new month-long challenge, which at least 2 people I told were like, why the fuck are you doing that, Katie? You did so much work last month. Why are you doing it this month too? I'm doing it different. I promise. It's different. So I'm doing the Daily Gratitude Challenge by Positively Present. Danny DePiro. I don't know that I'm pronouncing her last name correctly, but and basically it's just a little challenge about doing things and practicing gratitude every day. So I've started doing these are the first 2 days, and I want to do the 3rd day on stream, I think, today. Did I say that sentence right? I think I did. So I've committed to doing a 30-minute max painting or drawing for each day. I'm not going to be selling these. These are just for me to play around and do some things and just create for the sake of creating, really. It also works well for social media content, so I don't need to think about that as hard, which is helpful for me, especially since I don't have to do listings for these since I'm not selling them. I'm just taping them into my sketchbook, and that's going to be that. Positively Present also just released a card deck, which has little positive affirmations inside. I drew one of those yesterday and took a photo with this, so I was thinking I would draw another card today, and we can do that on stream and I'll look at it together. So this is the little description card, and I can just read that to you guys because it's probably going to be a little bit small, and knowing this camera, kind of blurry. It's time to take what you need. I'm so glad you chose to pick up this deck. Each card is designed to help you tune in to your inner voice. When you're unsure of what to do next, or you just need a bit of inspiration, choose a card and let its message be your guide. You can also choose a card at the beginning of each week and allow the affirmation to inspire you all week long. There's no right or wrong way to use this deck. Its only goal is to help you find inspiration and encouragement, and each card will bring you the message you need to see exactly when you need it. So I'm treating it kind of like an oracle deck, or my tarot deck. So I shuffled all the cards yesterday and pulled one. And I think it's probably still on top, yeah. So this is the one that I pulled yesterday. You're safe to create a life that feels right to you. So that was yesterday. I'm gonna shuffle these again and we can pull a card for today before we get started. Today's prompt for the Gratitude 30 challenge is optimism. And I've decided kind of what I want to do for that. So we'll do that in a little bit here. And those are just, like I said, 30 minutes. And I've been recording myself doing them the whole time. Just as like, I don't know. I've lost track of which side is up. I think this side. There we go. You don't have to do it all on your own. It's time for collaboration. And weirdly enough, my plan for the drawing today is actually a flower too. So that's a fun little coinky dink. Because I think something about optimism in general is that it's something that you grow. It's not some people are optimistic by nature. I'm not. I work on optimism and positivity really, really hard. And I think being able to say, oh, well, I may not be super positive right now, but I can redo it and all that kind of stuff. Hey Dream, how's it going? So my plan is to make a skinny little boy to go right here. That's just a plant growing, and have it say something like, optimism is something you can nurture. Yeah, that's my plan. It's not, again, these are supposed to be pretty loose, but I figured while I'm here with the good light, I might as well take the time to do that. And I will record on my phone while I'm drawing this. I do want to actually measure how big I want this and cut it, probably. I've covered all of my rulers. I moved things around a little bit to make room for other stuff, and that might have been a little bit of an error. So I can do 2 inches, and then is this about the right height? Yes, I think that is about the right height. I could do a little bit less, but I can tape it down too, and then that will do that. So I have a pencil out here. This works. 2 inches. And I'm going to smack the origami thing like every single time I move today, because that's just how life goes sometimes. I don't think that's a straight line, but we're just gonna go with it. Okay, I think leaving this over here is good. Ooh, that's very shiny right there. How about there? That works. So I think I'll tape down the paper just so that I don't move it around too much while I have my phone going over there. Because I did do, if you guys remember, or were here for reflection, the reflection piece the other day based on that Tumblr story, I recorded a little piece of what we were doing on my phone, and that was very helpful, actually. So I think I'm going to keep doing that, where I just take a little clip on a different camera that automatically puts things in the correct ratio for social media, because that makes my life a lot easier. Social media stresses me out, but I'm trying so hard. Hey Grim! Do I have to do hydrate with water? I have my tea sitting right here. I know I need to do it with water, so I'm going to, but like, caffeine. Slurp. Stretchy. Something nice about myself. I'm killing it, just like in general, in case anybody was wondering. True. I can do both. My tea also has like a lot of sugar in it today, so that's also nice. But I've been doing really well, like both mentally and with the tasks that I'm assigning myself. I'm giving myself enough room to like breathe and not feel overwhelmed. And I'm also getting the things done that I need to get done and want to get done. So I really think that I've found a balance. And usually around now in the season is when my brain takes a nosedive and like my mental health gets destroyed. But I'm actually doing really well, and I've put in a lot of work of getting like a base of positivity to work with. I call it my inner spin team. And I've been doing really well with that. Yeah. That was like 30 nice things. Are you satiated? Was that good for you? I still have blue acrylic paint on this board from when that acrylic paint marker exploded. Such is the way, I suppose. Okay, I'm gonna set up my phone. We're gonna do this. And then we'll get started on the ramen toppings. So, fact about me, I don't eat ramen very often, like proper ramen. I do love myself though. Just sometimes we have some rough patches, just like any relationship. There are some days that are easier than others. flavors for sure. But I don't eat ramen very often, like real ramen. I have like ramen out of a package pretty regularly, but because much of ramen is focused around fish flavors, and I'm not a big fish person, I don't have it very often. So I don't really know proper ramen toppings. Like I can Google it, but that's not the same. So I definitely want to do the Naruto because that's like no duh. I want to do an egg because again, that's a thing. Some nori strips. I was thinking green onion, and I was thinking maybe some bok choy would look good. I was also thinking, you know those little keychains? I have not researched into this like at all. But you know those little keychains where you can put little charms in them and they shake around? So people do like a grab bag or claw machine things or like little bags of treats and you can shake the little charms in them. I was thinking if I scan the toppings individually and then scan the background, maybe I could do one of those with ramen. I thought that would be cute. Again, have not researched at all. Don't hold me to this. I just thought that idea was cute. But I could also make like an animated GIF or something. And yes, I say it GIF, just deal with it. I'm saying that because Grimm's here and Grimm disagrees with how I say it. But I could also do an animated GIF of the ingredients falling out of the bowl with the background. I thought that might be cute too. So I think I'm gonna do the toppings. You don't just like me, you love me, and you know it, and I can get away with it. What was I saying? I lost my train of thought. Oh, so I'm gonna scan, we're gonna draw and paint the toppings, and then I'm gonna scan them separately. So this might be a 2-stream project, and we'll work in some other stuff around that. We also are going to be working on, this month, we're going to be working on the color and focus, which is violet. And I have 3 ideas down for that. And I think that I have the time to do all 3. We'll see. Because I definitely want to do another quilt block. I want to do an iris, like the flower. And I think I want to make a little terrarium, like a terrarium bottle kind of a thing, with purple stuff in it. And I think that will be a good sticker design. So I think we can do like a lot of really cool stuff with it this month. And yeah. But first, gratitude 30. That's our plan. And again, if I had thought ahead at all, I would have made a link, like a command to their Instagram. Let me fix that. Can I like use my brain at all? Not really. There. And there. It's just positively present on Instagram and it's positive present on Twitter. But let me just do this because I think yeah, that's you, right? Yes. Let me I guess I probably want to do this through the actual thing. I'm adding a command right now. Also, I realized that I have not updated my command spreadsheet lately. Oops. That button. It's making me log in again. Why do I have to log into everything all the time? I hate the future! The website I have to use for the timesheets for the modeling job makes you like redo the sign-in stuff every 5 days, and it's ruining my life because it's not just like a, oh, answer one of these questions or something. It's we need to call you to confirm that it's you. And it's so fucking obnoxious. Because if you're trying to do anything with the website on your phone, it disconnects you if you answer the phone call. And I hate it. I hate it. Like, I know that I'm getting paid $14.37 an hour to stand naked in front of people, but it could not suck. And I'm not getting paid to deal with the timesheet or do any of the extra background stuff that I had to do for this. And so it's incredibly frustrating. And I'm sorry if you're talking to me right now because I can't see chat. I'm just rambling, and you can deal with it. What is this called? It's just the gratitude challenge. 2023 gratitude challenge. I can't type and talk at the same time, just in case anybody was wondering. Okay, there we go. That should work now. Will you actually work is the next question. Yay, we did it. Okay, so that's the person I'm talking about. And I love her art, and I love the idea for this challenge, and it's great. So the challenge isn't necessarily an art challenge. Also, I'm making it an art challenge because I don't know if you knew this about me. I do art, like, a lot. That is a main facet of my personality, is making art. So yeah, I don't know. Where was I going with that? Right? I mean, I don't talk about it like at all. It's very secretive, and I definitely don't share it with everyone all the time. But yeah, I'm coming out as an artist. I hope you all still love and support me. So like I said, today's prompt is optimism. So I'm not going to do a sketch or anything. I'm leaving all of these like pretty loosey-goosey, just to have fun with it. So I'm gonna do a flower growing. We're gonna write the saying that I want to put on the side, which I haven't figured out the wording of. This is gonna take less than a half hour because I'm choosing something simple. The one yesterday took a little bit longer than a half hour, but that's because I had drying time in between it. I do also have just straight video, no editing, of me painting both of these that I think I'm going to put up on my YouTube, my main YouTube, not the archive. With no editing or anything, I'm just going to make a playlist that's basically like art co-working is the idea. So I'm working on something, you can put it on in the background and just listen to me silently work with art and watch if you want to. Just something to like hang out with. Or if you like want a nap or something and you want something on in the background, something like that, because I would enjoy those. And also it means less work for me versus editing and putting them up, which I may also do if I have the time. But I do still have a backlog from last month of all of the art time lapses and stuff. So I did post one yesterday, which is just for patrons at the moment. It will release in a week, of the campfire piece. And those are like the edited time lapses. The stream archive is still up, so my archive YouTube and I think the VOD is still up here. Probably. It should be anyway. But yeah. So we'll work on this and then keep trucking. I guess this video will be a little bit different because I will actually be talking. I don't remember, did I just do it like this last time? I feel like that doesn't give a very good... Yeah, I know, you're having trouble autofocusing because there's nothing there. I think that that's like... Is that better? You guys can't see the framing that I'm doing. Like, you can see me moving my phone a little bit, but... I think I want that to be a little bit taller. Let's use this and see how that goes. I don't remember how I did this day before yesterday, because I did a different angle on the one yesterday. Okay, that should work. I am going to move this card because I don't want to get water on it. But this is the card that we pulled. This deck is by the same person who's doing the challenge. I pre-ordered it, so it showed up on the 1st. Okay, I'm officially recording on the other device. I'm saying that so that I don't forget that I did it. So I'm just gonna do like a really loosey-goosey growing flower. That's my plan here. And then I brought out specifically ballpoint pen like I use, well, it's not exactly a ballpoint pen, it's a roller pen with liquid ink that I use in my journals and my planner, because I want to do like a kind of sketchy outline to it, just because I think that will be fun. And this is about having fun. So, and just like vibing with some art and not thinking about it too hard. Because I think one of my major weaknesses as a person is I get way too caught up in how I think things should turn out. And that's just a very discouraging way to live. But it's also bad for your brain after a while, because you get so focused on how things should look that you get disappointed whenever you create something because it doesn't look like how you wanted it to look. And so I think part of this challenge is, one, looking at positivity and finding positivity in your everyday life. But also I think by doing it this way, I'm setting myself up more for success long term by letting myself be messy in a way that's visible. And it's not, I've mentioned this before, it's not really messy. It's what my brain views as messy. Because like this kind of style, I love looking at, but I generally don't do it because if I do it, I don't think it's right. So by doing these kind of shorter paintings all in one sitting, I'm just kind of letting myself exist in a way that I often don't give myself the grace to.
Now, here comes the music.
So I think that is a big deal. What color do I want to make the flower? There's a question. I used a lot of purples yesterday. Maybe I want to do reds. I haven't done reds yet. Let's do like a magenta up here. I'm going to start with the flower up here and then do the... and don't ask me what kind of flower this is. We're making it up. I ain't no botanist. But one of the things... I was saying something. Oh, I'm going to do the flower up here because I want to do the stem, but I don't want that to bleed into the dirt and stuff here. So we're going to do the parts that aren't connected and then connect them. I think I'm going to start with magenta and pink. I'll probably shade with a little bit of purple if I get to that before we run out of time. We'll see. I think this was a song that I meant to remove from the playlist because it keeps getting caught by DMCA stuff. We'll see. I've been taking them out whenever YouTube catches them, because even though they're remixes, I really don't need to be arguing with automation all the time. I'm gonna add a little bit of purple in now, right through here. Then we'll add some pink. Get a nice gradient going. Let's see, what else do I have to tell you guys? Not a huge amount. I've started doing the malicious compliance thing, you might have noticed, for Instagram Reels, which means everybody's getting 10-second videos, because I'm not re-editing a video according to every single platform's different requirements. That's just not going to happen, because I like having a life that doesn't involve algorithms, I guess, is the real point there. I don't know. Like, everything has different rules. And like, theoretically you can post very long Instagram Reels, but if you do longer than 1.5 minutes, they don't let you use their music. And as I discovered last month, even if they do let you use their music, that doesn't necessarily mean that they won't bop you for it later. I want to just smooth out these petal edges a little bit. Then we'll come back to it. But TikTok lets you do that, but their search function only pops up like a few options for music, and none of them are long enough for long videos, and it only lets you use one song. And then YouTube Shorts, you're only allowed to do 60 seconds. You aren't allowed to do more than that. So like, I've just been editing everything down to 1 minute because I don't want to spend all of my life editing video. If I ever make it big, I can hire Sky to do all my video edits, and then I can just focus on making art and existing as a human, and that'll be fine. But I'm poor, so there you go. But someday. How wet are you? Still a bit wet. Let's do this. Add in some darker tones here. Get some more depths going. I do think that if nothing else had convinced me, which I've been talking about this pretty regularly on stream for a while now, but if nothing else had convinced me that I actually have developed some more watercolor skills, doing that pine cone the other day, like on the first, definitely would have convinced me. Because like, it actually looks like a pine cone. And I did that in 30 minutes. The heck? I probably want to add a little bit orange in here too. Some of the highlights. Let's go with this. Over here. Hey stars, how you doing? I forgot to make a command for stars again. I didn't write it down, so it stopped existing the second I stopped streaming. How you doing, stars? How's tricks? I don't know why I've been using how's tricks so much like the past day and a half, but I really have been. Food is good. The mobile app for Twitch is not though, so I totally understand if you don't want to talk. God, I tweeted about this. You can tell it's going to be good because I immediately went, ugh, before I even started talking about it. They're changing, like, the scrolling function on mobile so that it looks more like TikTok. And I'm tired. Can we stop? Can we stop trying to be TikTok everywhere? Oh, yeah, I'm sorry you're feeling icky. I assumed that you weren't feeling great since you didn't stream yesterday. But I hope you feel better soon. I do think I probably should let this dry a little bit more before I continue futzing with it. But that's 9 minutes in. That's not too bad so far. I do think that's getting to a point where I can do the stem a little bit, but I'll give it another second. While I continue sucking down my tea. You know what I just did? I went to go check my phone. I was like, where'd I put my phone? It's right there. It's recording. Girl, get it together. I'm just like this. My working memory is so trash. All right, let's do some little stemmy action here. I do think I kind of want to make this like squiggly because progress is never linear, and that's kind of the idea here, is that there's progress that you can make, even if it doesn't always feel like it. If we get a little bit of brown bleeding into there, that's not going to be a disaster, so let's do that. I do want to add some leaves to this too, I think. But we will work on this first. I think I probably could even leave this looser than what I'm actually doing, but I like this so far. I just realized that I can see my own hand on 3 different screens right now, including like just not including like just seeing my own hand from my eyeballs, and that's kind of weird. Digital age. Strange place. I do think I'll probably edit this one down. Since I'm talking during it, it doesn't really fit the vibe of the other ones, I think. So I will probably change that. I don't know. I know that I make the rules because it's my stuff, but sometimes I still wish somebody would just say, this is what I want to see, and I'd be like, okay, I can do that. Because, like, doing art is making decisions all the time. Existence is also making decisions almost all the time. But posting art on the internet is making a bunch of decisions about the art and then also making a bunch of decisions about how to market it. And I'm tired. It's just like a lot all the time. I'm doing pretty well with it though, all things considered. Because I did make a post every day last month, and so far this month I think I've made 2 posts every day on Instagram specifically, which then these into other platforms. Although Threads is really picking up art-wise. Seems like most of the artists have moved over there. I'm also there. I'm everywhere. Like, even if I'm not actively posting, I probably have already saved my username. Because I don't think I have anybody who hates me enough to go and try and take my username on another platform, but I'd rather not run into that if I can avoid it. I think I kind of want to do leaves that aren't necessarily attached here. I think that will look cool. And then I can attach it when I do the line art. That doesn't surprise me. It is a meta thing, so they're going to be trying to steal all my personal data, but like they already have it. So, like I'm in the US, we got no protection. If somebody wants to find me, they can find me. They can find out, I don't know, what brand of tampons I buy. It is what it is. Like it's not good, but I did get really annoyed about the massive amount of people saying, oh, don't use Threads, like all of those doom-mongering posts on Tumblr. It was like, yeah, I get that you have a choice in this. The rest of us, many of us, actually don't. We have to follow everybody like lemmings going off of a cliff to try and make a living. I think really what we should do is we should all just go back to like 14th century vibes where you can just go live in a cave by yourself and then people will call you really cool for it. I think that's the only way to save us all. And I'm sure somebody has started a cult with this concept. Because people will be people. Okay, 16 minutes. But I did, start at the beginning of the story, Katie. There have been a lot of people on Threads making posts, well, threads, I guess is what you would really call it, being like, oh, hey, if you're an artist, post on here so we can all find each other. And those have actually been very helpful and cool. I found somebody yesterday going through one of those threads to find other artists to follow who is doing a project this year where they make 1,000 pink cups. So they're making little ceramic cups with different patterns and stuff on them. And I found one that looked like the roses that I paint, you know, kind of like the swirly from the top view. And it was very inexpensive for handmade ceramics. So I bought it. It'll be here eventually and it will help hold my paintbrushes because my mug that I have my paintbrushes in is way too full and things keep falling out of it. And very few things make me as angry as quickly as something falling out of the container when I'm trying to grab something else. This is what I've discovered. I mean, I knew that about myself. It's the equivalent of like your belt loop or your pocket getting caught on a door handle when you're walking through it. It's like that, except for art supplies. I think I need to bring in a little bit of black to really get this value as dark as I want. So I'm really excited about that. I love just finding artists because I had just been looking like around. I don't use Etsy, which limits my options a fair amount. I don't use them because of their ivory policy from ages ago hurt a lot of Alaska Native artists, so I boycotted them. And I haven't used them. Gosh, almost 10 years now, I think. But that limits my options for ceramics and stuff like that, because a lot of people really only use Etsy. But I was just looking for something the other day because I was like, my mug is too full and something had fallen out of it, and I was angry searching on the internet for something to fix my problem. And then this just happened to fall in my lap yesterday, and I was like, wow, serendipity, love that. And I love being able to support small artists. So it's great. I do maybe want to add some other stuff in here. Maybe a different color? Not sure. Oh, maybe some stamen in the middle. That would look cool. Let's use you. Do kind of like this vibe. Yes, I like that. Okay. Is there anything else I want to do to this? I do need to let it dry. And let's add, I might add a little bit of white actually on the, where I want the highlights to be. So I am adding pink, but that's just going to add more saturation and not necessarily make it read as lighter. Let's add a little bit of white. And yes, hermits for life. I have always wanted to be a monk who lived in a cave and made cheese. Just the neurodivergent urge to become a hermit. It's so real. That will dry a fair bit lighter than it is right now. I think that's fine. Just a goofy little flower. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry and then I will do the line art for it. And I probably should decide what I'm actually writing. Because the prompt is optimism, and I wanna write something like optimism is a skill you can grow along the side, I think. It's just optimism is a skill you can't grow. I think that will work, and that will be fine. Excuse me. And then after we get this one dried, I'll actually like tape it into my sketchbook later and record that as a reel because I can make that less than 10 seconds, which is good for the algorithm. I hate this. I did also manage to get all of the listing posts written for the October art, which was very good, and I need to check the word count on that because I'm keeping track of my word count for this month. I did also print out my 6 Swan story to go through and edit to get back in the right mindset to work on that some this month too. Don't talk to me about how many projects I'm starting, okay? I know. Just let me live and regret it later. Oh, part of the point of, I guess I didn't mention this, part of the point of the gratitude challenge thing for me is also using up a bunch of the pieces of scratch paper I have because I cut my own art paper all the time, which means I end up with a lot of like weird shaped little pieces of art paper. So I'm doing like scratch paper to use up some of that, which we're also using some of those scraps to do the ramen toppings that we'll work on after we're done with this. Well, we are done with this, kind of. We're just waiting for it to dry. But yeah, I got so much done yesterday, and it didn't feel like I got a lot done because it's a lot of that background work that you don't really get a push post on, you know? So I was looking at my to-do list at the end of yesterday. I was like, oh, actually, I fucking killed it today. Good job, me. And that meant that I got to play some more Sticky Business because I'm back on my bullshit. I'm playing it on Steam Deck though, now. My other save files are on like my actual computer. And they've added a bunch of other stuff, which is fun. I'm having fun with it. I enjoy Sticky Business a lot. It's a very good like little indie game. It was clearly a passion project, which all the best games are passion projects. Honestly. Like if the game was made to make money, it's not fun, generally speaking. Like there's something off about it. You're vaguely dry, but the top isn't yet. But that game actually like exploded in a way they weren't expecting. But the controller scheme is a little bit funky. It definitely is a bit of a clunker. I think I should fold some origami stars while I'm sitting here. I think that's a good answer. Like it's still good, but it is a bit funky. It's really good. I love it. And it's got like they've kept adding more stuff to it too. So I'm glad that I did all of the achievements when I did, because one of the achievements is having unlocked all of the stuff in the game. And there's a lot more to buy now. So I'm glad that I did it when I did. But they added a bunch of stuff for Halloween, and it's so fun. I love it. I just think it's fun to be weird. I made like a little... I made some stickers inspired by Lib, because Lib was playing it on stream the other day, which got me back on my bullshit. But I made some Lib-inspired ones. So I have a ghost farting. I have... they have a witchy word, and I made a bee and changed it to bitchy. And let's see, there's a ferret that is crying and sitting in its own pee and poop. That's a thing that I made that now exists in the universe. But yesterday I made a Monster Energy drink with the shapes that are in the game. Like it doesn't really look like a Monster Energy drink, but I think it's probably close enough to make their legal team question me if I made it into a real sticker. Yeah, it's fun to just play around with and see what you can make with the different shapes and stuff. So I'll have an idea and I'm like, oh, well, they don't really have something that works for it. So I'll see what I can make. And they have added a lot more colors, which is very good. There are some things that I wish that they would let me change the color of. Like there's a little crown. Element? What? Asset, I guess is maybe the right word. But you can't change the color of it, and I want to change the color of it. But there's a lot of really cool stuff. I'm not entirely sure how to save the individual sticker files from the Steam Deck. There's probably a way to do it, and I just don't know how. But if you're playing on desktop, you can export the stickers that you made, which is how I did the redesigned sticker for Mushroom prompt last month, because that was one of the stickers that I'd made in Sticky Business. Was the inspiration for that. Which I'm starting to feel the itch. I want to make more stickers. I think that I really should start printing my own stickers too, just so that I can have like, it's not as big of a like time and cost sink to test out new designs, you know? Because right now I'm getting my stickers printed by a company, which is a great company and I love them very much, but that will always cost more than printing them myself. So I think maybe setting myself up with a proper printer and one of those cutter machines like a Silhouette or a Cricut will expand my options, because I would really like, yeah, I did like a lot. So I've completed the story 3 times, I think now, because I have no chill, and sometimes your brain just want to make sticky. But yeah, I also think getting a printer would be good so that I could do my own prints, because so one sale on imprint ended, and then less than 24 hours they started a new sale. And generally speaking, that's a bad sign, because they've been doing that for a few months now, having some sort of sale always running. And that concerns me. That's the sign of a company that's scrambling to stay in business. Because they expanded to include some other options. So they have stickers now, but only one size, and you can't like adjust it at all, which isn't helpful. Having a 4-inch by 4-inch square sticker as the only option is not good. And they've also added micro prints, which even though they're listed with the other art prints on the website, like when you go to shop, they actually give the artist less money for the micro prints from the purchase sale or from the sale price than they do for the rest of the art prints, which I think is disingenuous at best. So I think maybe starting to do my own smaller prints is maybe a better option, because I could still do basically print on demand, but I could be in control of it completely. And as we all know from watching me stream, I have control issues. So but it would mean that I could also do different reward tiers on my Patreon. So I could do like a postcard tier and a sticker tier if I was doing my own stuff. I can't do that if I'm ordering from a company right now. So I think maybe my next Ko-fi goal and general goal is to get a printer and a cutter. But really I need to set up my workspace before I do that. Which involves some other things. Really, I just need to get the trash moved out of there and my brain just short-circuited. Get the trash moved out, pull up the rest of the carpet. That's what I was saying. Okay, we're gonna do a bunch of little squiggle lines here just to kind of like outline stuff. And I think I'm gonna do a thing where I don't lift the pen up as much as I might otherwise, just to kind of like give this vibe that I want. It would help if my thumb didn't cramp up. My body has been like a complete disaster zone this past week. And I'm mildly concerned because I have another modeling gig on Monday, and if my back is still this bad, that may end poorly for everybody involved. We'll see though. So fingers crossed for my body to stop being a bitch, I guess is the point of that. This part is still a little wet, so this may get a little bit funky, but it'll be okay. Scratchy bits around here. I think that the purple is really even up to black. Yeah, I like that. I don't even know if you can really see that, but it's there. Okay, spelling optimism is another question. I think that's right. If I misspell it, you know what? It's fine. There we go. We did it! It's a little bit more than a half hour, but that included drying time and talking, so. And I'll just trim this edge off before I tape it into my sketchbook later. So there we go. And now my phone is back. Which I don't think I missed anything, but. Ooh. One of my books on hold has come through. That's exciting. That's a lot faster than I was expecting. Okay, next we are going to be working on ramen toppings. That's our next step here. Which I have more scratch paper for. I'll probably be doing this about the same size in the 6x9, which is kind of like my standard size anymore. Just because that's easy to do with the size paper I have. And before I got a flatbed scanner, like a big one, it was a good size for my other scanner. I don't want that pen. I want this. But definitely we want an egg. For surezies. I also want to do some bok choy, which may involve me looking up a reference photo on my phone. But I definitely want an egg. I probably should make it so that it's like a drippy center, because they usually do like, not soft boiled, but like boiled so that the yolk is a little runny in the middle. But I kind of don't want to deal with that, if I'm being honest. Let's just do 2 eggs, because we can. Because the more options we make, the more options we will have. That is not egg shape, that's like an avocado. So I'm just sketching these out with a colored mechanical pencil. Because I find that the colored pencil doesn't distract as much from the watercolor as a graphite pencil would. And it doesn't tend to pick up in scans as much as the graphite does, just because of the color. I do want a circle to do no here. And I probably will do a couple of those. And that is why God made stencils. And that is not even remotely centered, but that's fine. That's a little better. I don't think it's that big a deal, really, if it's perfectly centered. But just do some of the little nubbins. I don't know what you'd call them. I'll probably use this long piece of scratch paper I have to do some bok choy. Then I need to decide if I want to try to draw meat, I guess is the other thing. I'm basically just going to draw these in colored pencil, and then we're going to do watercolor. Get those done, and I think that will be like my focus for the stream today. I'll probably do the acrylic pulling off stream. We'll see if I get around to it. I have a lot of other stuff going, so maybe doing that on stream is the smarter answer. But since I do have another modeling day on Monday, I may be like super tired and out of it on Tuesday. I'm not sure. Especially since this is with a different teacher than the other one. So I'm not sure what the expectations are, or like what I'm going to be expected to do. And I'm already having like some fatigue stuff going on. We've got more pressure changes and stuff like that, which is, I've been like teetering on the edge of a migraine for a week, so, which is super fun for me, let me tell you. Let's just do spiral to follow. I don't want this to be like hyper realistic or anything, it's stylized, but getting the right vibes is important. And you guys probably like can't see the sketch at all, can you? Because it's so bright. You can see it a little bit. This is the problem with Alaska. I'm going to adjust this light. Sometimes that makes the camera flicker. So don't be scared. It's gonna be okay. I think I can lower this a little bit, and maybe that will help. I think that's a little bit better. It's better for my eyeballs. I don't do well with bright lights, but such is the necessity. I was looking up green onions. That's what I was doing. I guess they do, many of them have a spiral going. That will be part of what was off about the ones that I did before. because I did just kind of I'm a bit funky. I will make them different sizes because although knife skills are a big thing, especially in Japanese cooking, I feel like that will look nicer to have some variable sizing here. I do think that like a lot of green onion is probably the right answer because they're small, so I can fit them in like any place on these papers that's their space. I guess also nori is another thing I want to add. I don't know if I want to do strips or if I want to do like flat square. I think strips are gonna look better. So let's just do I think getting the color right for those is going to be the difficult part, and that will make them read really well. I also need to keep in mind that I'm going to be cutting these out, so the thinner I make the sizes, the more difficult that's going to be for future me, but I also think that's how it will be easier to read, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Do I ever know what I'm trying to say? Very rarely. I'm tired today. No, I guess I'm tired every day. I'm tired in a way that's more annoying to me today, I guess is what I really mean. I guess I probably do want to try to do some meat. Like, even if I don't end up using it, just having that option is maybe a good idea. I do think the thing that I really miss for the green onions here is the line texture, because by that point I was just so tired and it already wasn't turning out the way that I wanted. Different shapes for the nori and then make a little stack. I think. I'm not sure if I want to try to cut these out with scissors or do it with an X-Acto knife. I probably want to scan it before I cut them out, so I can cut them out digitally for those projects that I was thinking of. That will be just fine. Yeah, we are supposed to have another big pressure change tonight, and I'm just like, no more. My head already hurts. Leave me alone. I think this is maybe a good size for meat. I probably want to do just like a stack of slices. What's wild, sometimes when you're like a multimedia artist and you do a lot of different stuff, one of the things that's weird is like, so I'm looking at this, I'm trying to make a ramen bowl, and I'm like, I know exactly how I would do this in polymer clay, but doing this in watercolor, that's a new task. I'm not so sure about that. layer of fat right there, I think. And I know how I would do that with clay. I also know how I would do grill marks with clay. But doing them digitally or physically is a different skill. Making these not look like slices of pound cake is going to be something. The color will make a big difference with that, but there's some things that are just maybe not easier to do necessarily, but I know how I would do them and other stuff because I did used to make tiny polymer clay food. That was one of my things for a long while. There's some meat. I think that will be good. Let's do some bok choy and then we can start painting. That doesn't look like what I want. That's better. Okay. Maybe I want to make... Sorry, my brain is processing an idea and I needed to stop to let it finish processing. I was just thinking maybe I want to do some like pepper flakes. And what I could do is take a piece of scratch paper, thinner paper than this, and paint that in the right colors and then use a hole puncher. And then just kind of scrungle up the edges. And that would look like red pepper flakes. That's a good idea. Good job, brain. We did it. Okay, let's do like this. And then... Oh, maybe I want to add some mushrooms too. I know not everybody likes mushrooms. I like mushrooms. Alright, well, this is some leafy green. I don't know that it's going to really read as bok choy, but that's fine. Bok choy, once it's wilted, kind of looks like nothing anyway, so... A lot of this work is going to be done with the watercolor, and we'll see how well I do with that. But, is 2 pieces of bok choy enough? I think it is. Let's do some little mushrooms here. Then we'll get going on the paint. I think I'll cut off the excess from the gratitude painting and use that for red pepper flakes. That one I will definitely need to take down because I'm going to be covering the whole piece, and it's a thinner watercolor paper. I'm using a heavy cold press here, and it's just a lot heavier paper. Don't ask me what kind of mushrooms these are. I don't know. They're just mushrooms. Don't worry about it. I am looking at a photo of some ramen right now, so But what is in that ramen? Couldn't tell ya. Just do some little mushroom slices.
Time holds all of our smallest memories hostage. We were witness to events that don't make sense without the context of this show. These words can never represent life.
I am probably putting these close enough together that it's going to be a pain later, but that's a future Katie problem, and she can handle it. I believe in her. Okay, well, we trim this, then I will use that paper.
Your body wears a winter coat with pride to keep your head afloat. We're buried with our words now in the snow.
That fits. Now is the time to see. Ah, it fits perfect. I'm so smart. All right. Tape. Let's move you out of the way, buddy. These ones I don't think I really need to tape down. I think the paper's thick enough that it won't buckle too badly, but this one I definitely need to. So let's get that out of the way. And then we will move on to our other foods here. I will probably want to lighten up the pencil on those before I actually get started painting, but this is fine for now. Because I just kind of want to do some red and orangey for chili flakes. I have little pieces of eraser gunk stuck in this color on my paintbrush palette, or my paint palette I mean, and it's driving me a little bit batty. I'm gonna have to dig in there and get them out at some point. Do kind of like a mix of colors like this, and then I will just punch out holes or just cut them into small pieces and then glue them, which I think will be good. Also, I would love it if I could have like a day without getting a headache, but today is not that day apparently, which is fine. I'll live. I just would like it if we could not do that every once in a while. So we had high pressure this week, and now we're going to drop like 1 million in the next day. So that's going to be fun for me. And by fun, I mean awful. Hopefully that's done by the time I have to model, because that's already physically demanding enough. I really don't need other stuff going on. Okay, I think we'll start with this because it's the most fully packed. So once we get that done, it'll feel like we've accomplished many things. Then the other two will go faster. I still think that this egg shape is not quite right. Actually, I will... That's for you, Greg. That's your thingamabobber. Yeah. I think we're gonna make this look a little bit more 3D here. Just add an edge. That'll be good, okay. I probably should lighten that up, but I'm not going to because it'll be fine. I can just erase it because we aren't going to do like a lot of color because it's an egg, so the outside's going to be white. The big part's going to be the yolk in here. Do definitely need to lighten up the lines here because that's going to show up really hardcore. For the egg, I think I probably want to do just like a gray here a little bit. Just to give it a little bit of depth. I do still think that this is kind of avocado shaped, but we'll live. We can make it through. That looks vaguely like an egg. I guess I could make the outside a little brown to do like the marinated eggs. I'll come to a decision at that another time. I can always change that if I feel like it. I'm glad that I have given myself the time to do this the way that I wanted to. Because my original idea for the ramen shop prompt was to do like a 3D embroidery, which like I just straight up didn't have the time for it. But all of the ideas that I had, I wanted to do something kind of 3D with. I just really didn't have enough time. So by just allowing myself to post something that I didn't feel was finished, I gave myself the time to actually do this in a way that I can be proud of, which is very good, I think. And it's definitely a personal improvement. And I think that's part of why I got so burnt out on art challenges before, is that I made up all these fake rules that nobody had enforced or anything, but I had made up for myself. And if I wasn't going to do it that way, then I wasn't going to do it at all. Which is not, like, I totally understand that because that's how my brain works, but it's also, like, not a very good habit. And it doesn't let you grow as much if you have all these fake rules that you're following and nobody else knows about. Like, it doesn't give you the grace to experience things a certain way or make them so that it's easier for you to deal with, which I definitely have had a problem with a lot in my life. It's kind of like that thing where, like, if you give yourself the space to say that X thing isn't necessarily a thing you can only do at this specific time, it will make your life better. So, like, if you only think that you can brush your teeth in the morning, then if you miss the morning and you don't brush your teeth, that in the long term just means that your teeth aren't going to do as well. But the second that you allow yourself to brush your teeth whenever you think of it, it's better for you. And because you haven't let that rule, like, own your life, you've let yourself, I don't know, you've suited life to yourself more instead of falling into a trap, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Which I have a lot of difficulty doing that. So, progress. We're growing. I do think that, like, cut eggs have, like, a super specific texture in the yolk, and I'm not entirely sure how to portray that. I think maybe doing, like, a little bit of white and yellow, and then just kind of like that, maybe. I'll give it some of the texture. We'll see, let that dry and then get back to it. Eraser? There you are. I am definitely, like, starting to get a banger of a headache, so I may finish this this sheet and move on. We'll see. End stream or something. I really am getting a lot of bad headaches lately, and I'm not feeling it. Which may be because I haven't been sleeping as much. And also the aforementioned pressure changes. My hormones are also kind of being a butthole. Let's get some shading done on these, and then we'll add the pink. Should have used a smaller brush for this, but here we are. Do you think that I need to put more warm gray on my palette? Because I've used it all. I think instead of having black in my palette, I should just do warm gray and cool gray. Because I tend to use those more. Black is like a color to be used in very specific circumstances, so. I may end up using some colored pencil on these too, because I think that will look good for some of these. That's not what I want. The warm bread is a big tube, I think, because I couldn't find the smaller tube. Yep, here we go. And it was right here, which has been covered up by other stuff because I mixed it. So let's pull some of this up. These don't need to be here. Working memory is even worse than normal today, which is horrifying. Right. Oh man, I'm just realizing since my hold went through on that book, I need to get on reading like real hard, because I have the new story that Joy released, the new story that Tristan released, and now I have this book that I need to read. The book actually has a deadline. The only real deadline is for, other than that, for like Joy's story, is just so that I don't run into spoilers, which I also don't really care that much about spoilers, generally speaking. But still, I would like to partake in the discussion. And maybe even a smaller brush than this. Let's see, we'll start with this and work our way out. It would help if I actually like put this where it was on camera, huh? A little bit. Ended up making them look kind of squarish. Let's fix that a little bit. Not that big deal. The past two streams have just been me being very quiet and feeling crummy and trying to finish stuff. I guess 3, because I did that friggin' carousel painting in one sitting like an idiot. Which I don't know why my body has decided that it needs to throw a hissy fit about everything, but it sure has. I'd rather we not do that. Where the weather is at is probably not helping. We've been floating around freezing. And like, some days it actually goes full freezing and some days it doesn't. And that kind of in-between space is always like not fun times if you exist with sinuses. color, which is gonna be kind of like a green, and tone it down a fair bit. So I'm gonna do a little bit of red to make kind of a warm brown kind of vibe, and then maybe add some gray into it. We'll see how I feel about that. That's maybe not dark enough, but let's start with that, and then we can make it darker if I feel like we need to. Trying to think about what else I need to do today. I got so much work done yesterday that I was going to work on today that I may actually like have some breathing space without feeling too bad about it. There is some more social media stuff and video editing I can get done, but it's not like a dire situation if I don't do that. I guess what I could do is take one of the videos I have edited, and just to be a little shit, I could crop it down into 10-second sections and then post one section every day until it's done. Just because I can. I could also, there's a sound that's going around Instagram with similar vibes to that, where it's just like, oh, well, 10 seconds, you can't show much art, can you? So show us some art that's not sped up. I could do that tomorrow too. I do better if I think about what I'm going to post the day before. I'm just like that as a person, really. But I think I need to add a bit more green to this, and then we'll go over it with some black. Do some nice sap green for the green onion. We'll be well on our way. Maybe I just tweaked my neck last night, and that's why my head is so unhappy. Maybe I just need to sleep more. I've always needed like more sleep than most people do, but I don't think I've been getting that lately. Braviary. He just did Mandibuzz recently too, right? Doing the opposites. So Braviary. I mean, it's like the American Pokemon. It's the eagle, and the shiny is very America colors. Mandibuzz and Braviary are the opposite exclusives, which is why I bring that up. So is it for like an early, okay, I was gonna say early American something. I would have guessed around Thanksgiving stuff, but what was JFK's last breakfast? I'm so curious now. Educate us, Grim. I eat the same thing for breakfast every day, so my last breakfast would be really boring if I ever became famous enough for that to be a big deal. Because doing the same food that's not too difficult to make is much easier when my brain is not cooperating. Crisp bacon, 5-minute eggs, white toast, orange marmalade, and butter. I don't know that I've ever actually eaten a 5-minute egg. I mean, I've eaten eggs that I cooked for 5 minutes, but I don't really do those right. So poached eggs you're supposed to do like classically 3 minutes, right? So that they're still gooey. I poach my eggs for 5 minutes, which makes it so that they're most of the way cooked, really. That's way too much pigment. Calm down. Okay, I think I've layered enough colors onto here for these that I'm pretty happy with. I guess. Is it in the shell or out of the shell? I guess is the next question. It's in the shell, isn't it? Because poached would be out of the shell. I think it's a 5-minute egg is like the in-between of a soft boil and a hard boil, and you serve it in the shell, but I'm not 100% sure. And I don't know where I picked up that information, so don't trust me on my egg temps here. Okay, are you dry? Yes, let's do some pink then. Yeah, fair. I really should watch those because you always tell me about it. I'm like, oh, that sounds interesting. Or I see him on my feed and I'm like, that sounds interesting. And then I never click it. I'm bad about keeping up with people as they post stuff. I want to sit down and watch everything in one sitting. No, I'm not neurodivergent. Leave me alone. I'm going to make this like very pink just because I think it would look good. Trying to decide if I do actually want to like finish after this or if I want to do all of these because I don't think they'll take super long, and I do also feel crummy, but like I'm gonna feel crummy even if I don't end, so, or like even if I do end. I know words. But it may be that the migraine that has been lurking at the back of my head for a week is coming to a forefront, which I'd rather it do that and just like knock me out for a day than cause my life to be a living hell for a whole week. But something's been going on with my hormones this month that is not making my life fun. I think that squirrel is fucked up. That's okay. That's why we made 2. You really can't see that at all. If I turn out this light, is that going to balance or is it going to be too dark? Oh my god, that's so dark. Okay. And it made my camera shut off. Can you not do that? That's so annoying. It helps nobody. So let me turn you back on and lower the brightness maybe. I think that will help. Yeah, get it together. There we go. I don't know why it does that, but it does. That is a little bit dark, but it's making my head feel better. So let me just change the brightness on here a little bit. Is that better? I don't think that looks very good. Let's try this. Change nothing. Let's go there. Okay, I think that is acceptable. Probably. If you disagree, let me know. But the bright light in my eyes is definitely not helping my situation right now. You saw the fire at night. Okay, let's work on some green onions here. So we want a lighter sap green for the outside with some yellow in it. Let's just do this. That's a beautiful color, and I am so smart. Yeah, I think I should finish this page and then call it, because I can feel my eyes being weird, which would be the sign of a migraine for me. Which is great. I love that for me. But it does mean that probably the best answer for myself is to go take some cold meds and then take a nap. Because with my migraines, my eyes stop working. Because I get auras, which means that I get blind spots in the middle of my eyes, which is very frustrating. And means that doing anything is extraordinarily difficult, so we'll give ourselves the grace and go lie down. Hey Bug, how you doing? I don't feel good. I was just going on about how I think I'm coming down with a migraine right now, but we stay silly. How are you doing? Yep. Tis the season, and a good time to play Animal Crossing because it's mushroom season in there, so you can get some of those rare mushrooms. Okay, I think most of these are still a little bit too wet, but we're gonna see. Because one of the things that makes a spring onion like a spring onion is little lines. Which I'll do some of this green and then I'll go back and do some yellow too. It's a little bit too damp. Let's try that. That's better. Thank you. Sorry to make you hungry. I guess that's kind of unavoidable though. If you're watching streams, food comes up. Food is one of the few safe topics. So it's definitely a thing. That one is definitely still too wet, but let's see about these guys. Those seem fine. I made this one too wet, but it'll be fine. I think I need to darken up the top one here a little bit. Right. Yellow. After I finish this sheet, I will see who's live that we can go bother. I think I need a little bit more. In the shell. I thought so. I thought so. Because I like very cooked eggs. So like when I make hard-boiled eggs, I do them for like 12 to 13 minutes. With a strong boil at the start, which is, if you follow instructions from other people, that's not how you're supposed to do it. That's technically overcooked, but that's how I like them. Maybe I like meat generally overcooked too, especially like chicken. But I wonder if that's just because it gives it a more consistent texture. Because like overcooked is a specific texture, and if you overcook something, then it's all the same texture, versus if you cook it quote unquote correctly, you have a lot more variation. I don't know, maybe that's why. I just like things cooked. There is a point with poached eggs when I'm doing them where like the majority of the yolk is hard and it's cooked all the way through, like there isn't an actual ooze, but you can get a really nice velvety texture in the yolk. That's like the ideal, but actually hitting that is very rare. Yeah, it should be fine here now. We'll feather out a little bit, but that's okay. This is like so tiny, you probably can't see a lot of the detail that I'm adding. It looks good, I promise. Okay, inside I want to do some buff titanium with a little bit of sap green, I think. This will be easier to mix with. Let's do this. That. Yeah, exactly, Bug. Exactly. I don't like a runny yolk. Even when I'm scrambling my eggs, I cook them like a super long time. I want it cooked. I think that it's too wet, probably. And not enough pigment. Try that again. Here we go. I think that the pencil lines I added under this is going to do a lot of the work. We'll let that dry a little bit and then do a greener circle. Oh, interesting. Just the whites. I haven't heard of that before. I guess eggs are high in histamines, aren't they? feel like that's a thing I heard from Joy, but I may be misremembering. Just the whites, though, is interesting. I worked with somebody when I worked at a pizza place who was allergic to all fruit with seeds, which was a rough life. Seems like to me. Yeah, definitely bug. Eggs, like, they seem simple, but they're actually, like, one of those complicated things. A little bit more green on the back here. Will give us a better depth. Probably should be using a smaller brush for this, but I started, so here we go. Which would be difficult if you got a gooey egg. He's like the people of meringues, I guess, except opposite. You can't have any yolk in the white, except it's the other way around. Way too hard about my coming week already. We'll live though. I don't know, just working with a different teacher is stressing me out. It's gonna be fine though. Like, I mean, nothing bad is gonna happen. The worst that happens is I go, I can't actually do what you're asking me to do. So, it'll be fine. I just gotta calm down about it. Coffee and fresh orange juice. Fresh orange juice is very good if you have somebody else making it for you. It's too much work. Like, I love a fruit juice, don't get me wrong. And I do actually own a juicer. There was a while where I was a fresh juice girly, and I was making myself juice to go to work every day. Okay. That sheet's done, I think. Are you dry? You're mostly dry. You weren't buckled as much as you were. So that is progress on this piece, and we also finished my piece for the gratitude challenge. But I do think that I'm going to end stream because I'm feeling kind of crummy, so I'm going to be kind to myself and go take a rest. I'll probably continue working on these on Tuesday because we still have, where did I put them? We have meat and we have bok choy and mushrooms to still do for this. And we also have to do the actual paint pulling for the background. So there's more work to be done on this, and I have some more brainstorming to do for my color and focus stuff. Coming up, But this is progress made, and we're giving ourselves the space to do it in a way that, I say I'm giving myself the space to do it in a way that makes more sense and will let me be happy with the result. So, here's our card for the day that we pulled too. And this will fit right here in my sketchbook, and that'll be day 3 for the gratitude challenge. You don't like orange juice? I'm big on orange juice. I'm not so big on apple juice. Apple juice gives me an upset tum-tum sometimes, and I just don't like it as much. That's what I did for the command, right? Yeah, so this is the card deck that I pulled this card from, and the challenge that I'm doing for this month are by that person who is, link is now in chat, who I highly recommend. She does a lot of really cool stuff with positivity and gratitude and all that kind of stuff, if you can guess that from the challenge. So I think good art, good messages. Yeah, Bug, exactly. We dovetail perfectly for this. Oh man, actually, so Lib, who we've rated before, their whole branding is based around gummy bears. And one of the best gummy bears, this isn't even up for dispute, it's just a fact of the world. Some of the best gummy bears are from Albanese company. So I bought some because Lib was doing a taste test on their stream with somebody, and I was like, God, now I want gummy bears. So I ordered some, but the thing is that one of my least favorite flavors is orange in gummy bears. I'm not big on most citrus flavors, like fake citrus flavors. And so I joked with Lib that I would send them all of my orange gummy bears from the next pack I bought, and I'm actually going to do it. I'm going to pick out all the orange ones. Because last time I bought a bag of these gummy bears, you can get a 5-pound bag of these gummy bears for less than $12 on Amazon. Albanese brand. Highly recommend. They're very good. They have 12 flavors in every pack. They're delicious. So the last time I bought these, I did also split some flavors out of the 5-pound bag. I pulled out all the grape ones because I don't like grape, and that was my best friend's favorite flavor. So I gave him all of the grape ones, and I pulled out all the pink grapefruit ones and kept those for myself because he didn't like grapefruit. So it's nice to see that this tradition lives on even with new friends. Because with 12 flavors, you have a lot of options for things you can like and not like. I'm realizing I forgot to put a line right there, and that's whatever. We're gonna leave it. We finished it. So yeah. Do you guys want to have a stream of me just sorting gummy bear flavors? Because that could happen. Yeah, let me find somebody that we can go bother. And I will probably dip pretty quick, but most people are pretty understanding about that stuff, and I'll go lay down and not stare at a screen for a while. And maybe that'll help. Because I have been doing a lot of screen time lately. Because I've been doing social media stuff. So let me... that's not the button I want to click. This one. You can also close. Goodbye. So let me mute that tab and do that. I'll leave those there. This will come back with me. This comes back with me. Anyway, I also need to get rid of this paint water. Ooh, excuse me. Who's that? Who's that? Who else have we got going? Oh, Rainbow is live. Let's go bother Rainbow. Rainbow will understand too. So I showed some stickers from Rainbow last time. And they're cool people. She's cool people. I need to stop defaulting to they when I know people's freaking pronouns. Type like this. Alright. I'm gonna switch over to the any screen while that is just thinking about life. Ooh, maybe I'm going to if my computer will stop lagging super bad. So thanks for hanging out, and thank you for understanding why I need to end early. I know I've had a couple short streams in a row, just because of life, and I appreciate everybody's patience with me around that, and you encouraging me to take care of myself. I very much appreciate the community vibes we have going. So I hope you all take care of yourselves too. Take care of and be kind to yourselves. And I will see you next time, probably working on more ramen, which is just a fun little task that we can all do together. So yeah, see you then. Bye.